Hi, everybody. I want you to meet Jackie Nix because she is an author and a scientist and a very cool person. And this is World Read Aloud Day. So I'm hoping to just grab her YouTube video that she did of her reading aloud so that you can also see this. So this is going in our Facebook group and everywhere else I can find to put it. So welcome, Jackie. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. It's great to be
So
with you,
cool.
Patricia.
I know that when people are creative and they're artists, they're writers, it's really an amazing thing. And usually there's a big story behind. So why did you become a writer? What led you to do that?
I have always written professionally, but it was writing articles, writing white papers, research papers, for websites and all. But when I left my corporate job, and there's a long story behind that, but when I was figuring out what next, and the idea of agriculture advocacy was very, very strong with me. That I was so tired of dealing with people who really had very, very strong misconceptions about what goes into raising food. And as I explored that more with myself, I realized that with these adults I was interacting with, that their idea of ideal farm sounded like a children's book. It sounded like Old MacDonald's farm of one cow, one pig, one chicken, corn, and the farmer in overalls and a pitchfork. And it got
Not
to
quite reality.
Well, it got me to thinking of, rather than trying to change their mind after they're adults and have really fully formed that opinion, let's start exposing children early so that it's no more scary than us walking around with our computers in our hip pocket.
Right.
And to expose them to the technology and what we're doing in the 21st century for raising food, and then hopefully not have to try to deprogram and so anyway, long story short, that was what got me into writing children's books versus the technical content I had done previously.
But you also said to me that you write children's books so that parents can be educated, and parents are often reading to their children. And why wouldn't you, read the story about agriculture and farming so that they're educated?
Well, that's the sneaky thing of
Sneaky.
As I am educating the child, then the adult that is reading to the child is also educated. So
that's really smart. So the book that you were reading today is Modern Farms, and you've got an Instagram page called Modern Farms Book, which, where you can find all kinds of things that you post, right?
Yes, I do. I do on weekdays. I do what I call Ag Facts. And it's various foods. So far, I've been doing foods. I may branch out and do non-foods, but a short history of the food, where it's grown in the world, what country is the leader in our country, where is it grown, just kind of fun facts about them. So, yeah.
And I think that's really of service because I think I know with my own kids who have their kids, there's a tendency to be more educating. So not just totally empty. I mean, empty is fine if you're going to amuse somebody, but it can't be the whole story, right? Mm-hmm. And what I liked, you did some drawing videos that I thought were great. And one of the ones I was watching was, what do cows produce for us? Well, it's not just beef and cheese and those things, but leather. And then you were starting to go through a whole list, and I'm thinking, wow, maybe I should read your books. So what does Modern Farm Book look like? Let's see. Have you got one handy? If not, I will. Okay, good.
This book is meant to be an introduction, and it grazes the surface. It's just quickly talk about many different. So we've got dairy, we've got tomatoes, we've got corn, chickens.
There you go.
It's meant to cover what we call row crops, and that's just a term for anything in big fields and rows.
In
so
rows,
corn and cotton and soybeans and things. Produce, which would be fruits and vegetables, animal products, orchards, things that we get from trees. So I, on purpose, did a little bit of everything just to show the breadth of agriculture, of the foods we get from the grocery store.
And I think there are still people out there who think that foods come from the grocery store, end of story. So I'm really glad you're doing what you're doing. Where do you get a hold of Modern Farm books? Modern Farms
It's
books?
Available through all online booksellers. So Amazon and Books A Million, Barnes & Noble. You can also go to my website, which is Maven, MAVEN.com.
And you are a maven, so I think that's an appropriate title. It's also kind of interesting. And what's next for you? Because I know we have a podcast coming up talking about some of the challenges that you've overcome as a woman. And I really enjoyed doing that podcast with you. I think that's just a little bit of icing on the cake. But from a writer's perspective, what's next for you?
The first book was a collaboration between myself and another illustrator. I did being a newbie. I thought that I needed somebody who knew a little bit more about what they were doing than I did. This one, I'm going to full out be author illustrator and do it myself. Good and bad with that. So the next book is called Bonnie the Bovine and Her Bodacious Burps. So my books are what are called creative nonfiction. So it's educational, but hopefully in a fun way. But I don't have story arc with, the hero's journey and such. I'm teaching, but hopefully teaching in a fun way. This is going to deal with cows and the science of their digestion and, with the whole controversy of methane, and talk a little bit more about the carbon cycle and how cows fit into the environment along with other animals that are just like them that are called ruminants. So it's going to be more in depth, a single subject, and science.
I really think that's a really unique way to do things. I think it's great. Although I wonder whether you couldn't put a Moo hero into and a story arc for that, just into a future book. Just saying.
Well, I'm playing around with. Okay, so we're going to talk about the microbes.
Okay. Oh.
I think I may have a secret hidden microbe on every page that you have to find.
Oh, that might be fun.
They might be because there's a place for talking animals, but not in my world.
Okay.
Not in my world. But maybe I have maybe my narrator is a microbe. I don't know.
It's fun to think about.
We're still, that's the beauty and the curse of doing it myself is I can decide to change course at any time.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I'm an entrepreneurial trainer. I can tell you, particularly in this environment, entrepreneurs change, and they have to be able to change on a dime. So you're not frightening me off, Jackie Nix. It's very cool.
Because I change on a dime all the time.
It's one of the things that when you do have your own business, sure, there are ups and downs, and yes, it's got to be creative, and you better, I've got an appointment with myself to start writing content, which I'm going, oh, I wonder if I could put that off till tomorrow, but I can't. So, yeah, we'll just do what we need to do to produce the stuff that we love and go from there. So
Well,
I am.
on the days you need to write content, you probably have the cleanest house ever.
No, I do not, because I have this wonderful arrangement with my husband. He is the one who does the cleaning. I can't even use that excuse, but I find other things to do.
I will find so many other tasks that were, forgotten and put away when I need to do something totally different. Cleanest house, I'll be baking up a storm. I'll pick up a hobby I haven't touched in years. Anything to avoid doing whatever I'm supposed to do.
Maybe we need some accountability partnership here. Maybe that's in our future. But I really love that on World Reading Out Loud Day that you were reading Modern Farms book. I really do. And I'm not going to take your time so that you can go off and do either baking or whatever you're going to do or not do in your life. But thank you for being here. And the podcast for Women Positive is going to appear soon. So I will let you know when that comes out. And I just love what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I love what you're doing. And I love that you've shared your platform with me. And
Always.
It's always a pleasure to talk with you, Patricia.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to talk with you because we often talk for a long time. We're going to be disciplined now. Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you.